and I'm not really going to go into any further details. I'm not really going to get into too many specifics.
Ryan Braun talking publicly for the first time since his suspension, but not really saying a whole lot. Braun gave local reporters only about 30 minutes warning before he decided to show up at a local food drive and answer questions this morning. But he left most of the biggies, what he did, why he did it, and why he lied, unanswered. My co-anchor, Michelle McCormack, joins us now live outside Miller Park, along with Kevin Holden with more on the food drive and Braun's appearance. Guys?
Well, Paul, certainly Ryan Braun's appearance here brought an extra level of excitement to CBS 58's annual Day Before Thanksgiving food drive for Hunger Task Force. And for true Blue fans that were in the crowd today who say they want to move forward, Ryan Braun, with what he did say, took a step in that direction. Kevin?
That's right, Michelle. There was some remorse expressed by Braun in the first time facing the music since that 65 games. Early December, 2011, Braun had that positive test that he eventually appealed and successfully appealed. And, of course, then there was the defiance of the spring training press conference in 2012. We'll talk more about that in a second. But today, amidst some of the denials, there was an apology.
I'm deeply remorseful for what happened. I wish that I had the ability to go back, change things and do things a lot differently, but unfortunately I can't do that. All I can do is move on, try to do everything in my power to earn back people's trust and respect and support. I don't anticipate being able to earn back everybody's support, but I certainly intend to do everything in my power to do that, and I won't stop trying.
It's interesting that Braun spent about 15 minutes with the media today because in a similar 15-minute stretch in February of 2012, Braun showed almost an arrogance, a defiance against baseball's drug testing policy. And this was back in February 2012 after the successful appeal of his 50-game suspension then. Braun, at this point, looking back, almost 2 years later, said today that he wishes that that press conference had never happened.
I wish that I hadn't done the press conference. It was a big mistake. I deeply regret having done it and a lot of the things that I said that day.
And for Braun now, at this stage, there's still a few months of the offseason, still plenty of questions to be answered as he is looking forward to spring training and trying to continue his career with the Brewers, Michelle. There's still a lot more questions for him to answer as he tries to get back to some semblance of normalcy.
And Braun, Kevin, also shared something we hadn't heard before, information about the much-maligned test taker, Dino Lorenzi. How is Braun going to make amends to him? He was asked that directly. And then Braun gave this response that a lot of people never saw coming.
I have not made any payments to him. I've had some really productive and positive conversations with him. The Lorenzi family was actually gracious and kind enough to have my fiance Larissa and I over their house for dinner last night. And we had some really good conversation. We've made amends, and I think we're both excited to be able to move forward.
And there you have it. Now, after the cameras left and that press briefing and the media questioning was over, Ryan Braun then spent about 2 hours by some estimates packing up food, signing autographs. Many of the people who had dropped by food said this was an absolute lift that they had never anticipated and that they felt positive that perhaps the city of Milwaukee would once and for all forgive Ryan Braun. Coming up a little later, though, we're going to talk about a community coming together in an incredible way, Paul. We have already surpassed our goal for gathering food. We are still going to be here until 6 o'clock tonight. Some groundbreaking information on how we are feeding Milwaukee coming up live from Miller Park. For now, back.